Well, good morning, everybody. We are going to go through this DIY award set with you. I'm going to show you how the pieces work. I'm going to give you some suggestions on how to make the assembly easy for you, how to choose some parts. I'm also going to go through all the different files that are included in this one so that you can navigate that fairly easily. So let me give you a broad overview, and then we'll get into the weeds, as they say. So for starters, the set's got a whole bunch of different bases for you. And I've got several different stacked bases like this that all have a slot in them. And you can do the hexagon or the kind of a stretched hexagon, a rounded square like this, a regular square. You can do a rectangle like this, and you can do circles. So all these are already made for you. So that all you got to do is go and choose the type of base that you want, and then choose how many layers you want to do. So we've got up to 4 layers in there. If you wanted to make 5, you could, but you can also just use 2 or 3 or 4, however many you want. If you decide to do the stacked layers like this, my favorite thing to do is to alternate, like maybe if you're doing acrylic, for example, alternate opaque acrylic, like let's say it's black, and then maybe clear, black and clear like that, because it looks really cool. Couple keys though is you want to make sure that your very top one and your bottom one are both opaque. That way you never see any glue, okay? So if you're going to do alternating, if you do 4, that's not going to work very well because you need the bottom to be opaque. So if it was opaque, clear, opaque, you need to stop with 3. So that's up to you, but it really makes an award really elevated, pun intended, when you do a layered base like this. So these are really great. And again, you can use as many or as few as you want. Now, all of these bases come with the rectangle slot through all of them. Whichever one you choose to be the bottom one, I recommend that you delete the slot on the bottom because you don't need that, all right? Because you want it to be solid and cover up everything. Another point related to that is this. Let's say that you have this vertical piece here, goes in like that. Since that tab is only 1 layer thick, 1 layer deep, there's really no need to have the other slots in the other ones unless you want to, because it doesn't go down into the rest of them. So you could delete the slots in the rest of them after the top one, okay? So first in the group, our first step that you do is you choose the base that you want. Hey, good morning, Trisha. Good to see you. So you choose the base that you want. Again, you can choose any one of these flat bases that are included in it, and you can choose the number of layers that you want on that. Let me move these off to the side because this is just going to be crowding my desk like crazy. You can also do the risers, which these are my favorite. I'm going to bring this whole stack over here. Yikes. So we've got a lot of different risers available. We've got kind of our regular one here like this, just a little square here. I think it's 3.5 by 3.5. This is really fun. All of these, you can put a plate right here that has names or information on it. And there's a plate included in all of them, a square or a rectangle that you can engrave on if you want. Put it right there. So that's really cool. Then we've got one that's slightly taller, like that. Got one that's a little bigger left to right. So you have more space right here. And of course, if you make something wider on the top, that'll look really cool. And then this one is really big. And so this would be great for a lot of text that goes right there, that kind of thing, a presentation of that sort. And then you've got a lot of the same shapes here, but we've got them in columns like this. I really like these. Even the little one feels a little bit like, if you're holding a bigger word like this by the columns, it feels really cool. It looks cool. If I were you, I would mess around with these. I might even consider making the columns clear. That might be interesting, or colored translucent acrylic. That could be cool. And then we've got a slightly taller one right here. And then we've got a wider one like this. You could even, I'm going to drop this. This will be fun on camera. You could even put something in the middle here. You could put a number or a logo in there. That would be cool. But these are the different column options that you have. And then we've also got a one that I do not have glued together. That's great. Is a hexagon like this. So you can choose what kind of base you want. And once again, just like the other ones, there's a slot here in the top. and your main slotted piece just goes in just like that. And then we'll be talking about how to put pieces around it there in just a moment. So step number 1 is you choose the base that you want. Step number 2, once you've chosen the base, let me just grab one of these bases here. Let's say I've chosen this base right here. The next thing you want to do is to choose one of your vertical pieces. And what I typically do is I choose the tallest one first, the one that's in the middle. And I want you to see, we'll walk through the file here in just a minute, but I want you to see that all of these shapes here, they've all got versions that have a tab at the bottom and a part that doesn't have a tab. Let me use an example here. Bring this up to the camera. So these are the same shape, but one has a tab at the bottom and one does not. And the purpose of that is this. What we're going to do is we're going to stack pieces in front and behind each other to make a look. So let's say we did this right here, okay? And that could look pretty cool. And then we can stack some pieces in front of it that'll make it look really cool visually. So for example, let me go over here on the table here. Let me grab maybe this one here. And since I'm going to put it in front of this one, I don't want a tab on the bottom. I'm just going to do this. I don't know if I can hold this without dropping it. We will see. So that could be cool. And then we could grab another one. Let me see if actually, you know what? I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to grab a different one. Let's try, there's so many options, which is kind of the fun part. Yeah, let's do that. So like this. And then we'll do something maybe like, I don't know, like that. That could look really cool. And if you did this, you could alternate. You could do a clear or transparent or all opaque, whatever you want. And what you start to do is 2 things. This starts to look cool visually. It also starts to feel heavier and heavier in the hand, which makes it feel like it's really got a lot of worth. And then what you can do is on the back, you can either leave it like that, or you can decide to mirror the same pieces on the back. And if you're going to make this piece clear or translucent, you're going to want to cover up glue. So you need to mirror the pieces on the back. I don't have all the pieces cut without the tab on the bottom, but just for an example, it's going to be a little bit of the wrong height. But if you did the same shape in the back like that, and then the same shape on the back like this, you get the idea. Is you do like that, and then it feels incredible in the hand. It looks really cool when you get this depth going on. And also what it does is all of these are going to get glued to each other and then glued to the base here. So this is going to be really, really sturdy. All right. Let me give you a couple other options. There's a million options here. Let's say you want to do something. I can't even put these all back where I had them. There's so many of them. Let's say you're going to do something a little shorter. Let's say you're going to do something like this, maybe. Let's say we're going to do a base like this. And maybe you want to do, oh, this would look cool. Let's do a couple like this. You could do a small one like this. And see, I've got 2 layers here. Put it in like that. And if I wanted to, this would make a great award just like that. And then if I wanted to, of course, I would take this same shape that's on the front that doesn't have a tab. That's not it, but I don't think I have it here. But I could then put it on the back like this. That's the back and the front. And just squeeze that middle piece if it's translucent. And you can, again, make it really cool. Now, here's one of the sneaky, really cool things about this set that I love. I don't know if you can see it on the camera here. No, you can't. But I've got all of these little, I'm going to move over here in the middle where you can see them a little better. See on the other camera there? Got all of these little, what I call extra elements here. And all you got to do is take like a couple of these triangles, for example. Look here in the main camera here. And if you did this, yep, and don't drop anything. I can't hold it, but get that down. This can start looking really, really cool like that. And then again, you can do the same thing on the back, and you can make this into anything you want, and it looks incredible. Let me keep going with a couple more options, and you'll see what I mean. Oh, I've got big numbers included. So for example, if you wanted to, you could just do this number 1, this first, and you've got an award just like that. Look at that. But that's not all. If you wanted to go back to like the same kind of idea we were doing earlier, let's say we did this like that. And let's say you want to put the first in front of it. So we've got one somewhere in front of me here. Yep, got too many pieces. I don't know where they all are. But you could do also second like that, really nice and big. You could do, let's say you had first like this, little one. You could put it right up there like that. Yep, I can't do it straight. Like that. You could also, check this out. This could be cool. Take a bunch of these stacked shapes and do something like this. Oh, that'd be really cool. And then put first right like that. Look at that. And if you alternated colors, this would be incredible. And then if you had a logo, you might be able to cut the logo out of here and engrave it right there. But look how cool that looks. And all of these pieces are included. Let me just throw another couple of ideas at you. And as you can imagine, some pieces work better than others together. We've got a kind of a wreath here. This could look really, oh, yeah, look at that. Put yourself a first right there. Look at that. And you can just put these together in any way that you want. Grab a couple more here. I think these can be really neat if you choose to put them in the right places. Let's see. You know, this could be really cool. Anyway, I think you see the idea. It just goes on and on and on. I'll show you a couple more pieces that are kind of unique here that you may not figure out on your own, so I wanted to show them to you. There's one that's got a star here. It goes like this. And I made it like this so that you could put this in like this. And let's say that you wanted to make this piece a different color or different type of material than this one. You can then make it, put it on like that. I'm going to put this down so I don't drop it. And then, oh, I glued on, I don't have another circle. But you're supposed to put another circle on top of it to trap it in there. And then that way, this is a different material than this, and it looks really cool. And it ends up looking like this, okay? Like that. And once you've got that going, you can then take any base that you want, right? Do like this. Again, throw some different shapes underneath. Let's say you want to do that. And it starts looking really, really cool. And these can look really high end and very heavy in the hand, and they just look great. So there's almost no limit to what you can do here. Of course, the set includes all kinds of more basic shapes that'll make it easy for you just to do a basic one really quickly, but you can also do these extra ones. Now, let me know if you have any questions in the chat there. I'm going to go and start showing you the file itself so you can understand how to navigate through the file. Let's go here. Okay. So for starters, this is what your folder looks like when you first start. It has a document over here that says Start Here, BBLD DIY Award Set Legend. So you're going to open that together in just a second. And then here's the 3 main folders: the DIY Award Set Bases, DIY Award Set Elements, and DIY Main Award Shapes. Let me define what those are. Set bases are just what you think they are. They're all of these right here. And then the award set elements are anything that I would consider not a main shape. Like, again, these types of things right here. These are elements that go to support the main shape, all right? So those are in that folder. And then the main award shapes are just the big main pieces like this. I know that a lot of pieces can technically be an element or a main piece, but I just did that to try to help you navigate that a little bit. So let's go to this Award Set Legend PDF. And this is what it looks like right here when you start. It's got, I think it's got 9 pages, I believe. And I took the time to walk through and write out the way that I would work through making an award. I'm not going to read all this with you, but before choosing pieces, let me talk about this for just a minute. Before you choose the pieces that you're going to make an award with, you want to collect all the information that's going to go on an award first. What I mean is, You need to know, hey, is the customer going to expect a logo? Do they want the person's name? Do they want the name of the organization? Do they want the name of the award? Make a list of all the content that needs to go on the award before you choose the pieces, because you may have a bunch of content that can't fit properly on the pieces that you chose. Does that make sense? If you need a lot of content, you need a lot of space for the content. For example, if somebody wants Mark Collier, Best Award Designer 2023, you may decide that you want to take a base like this because you can put a plate here that has that information on it. However, if you decide that you're going to put vertical pieces like this, you might be able to put content up in here. But bear in mind, if you were to take the pieces like this and put it like this, you've created some space to put content here, but you've also covered up some. So you just want to think about, what are all the pieces of information I'm going to put on this award before I start? And then after that, you can start choosing the pieces you're going to use. I'm not going to read the rest of this. One more thing I'll point out. I recommend that you don't cut the base until you've chosen what material this main vertical piece is going to be, because the thickness of this goes into that. And if you cut these all first before you've chosen this, this may not fit. Now, it's not critical that this be really, really tight. In fact, this is quite loose here, and that's okay, because I'm going to glue it here to the base. And then as I put all of these other support pieces like these, like that, I'm going to glue each one of these to that centerpiece, each one of these to each other, and I'm going to put glue on the bottom of these so that everything is really sturdy. And that's one of the other reasons I love these elements so much. So bear in mind that you're going to be gluing these to each other to the base, and then you'll probably have some back ones too. So this will be nice and sturdy when you get done. But I just wanted to say, make sure that you don't cut the slot until you know for sure how that's going to fit. I'll let you guys read through the rest of that. Let me pop back over and make sure that no one's got any questions. Okay, so let's go back to our PDF here. I'll let you read through all of that, but these are just me taking the time to walk through exactly how I do things and a bunch of notes. Now, the next pages on the PDF are visuals to help you know what all these pieces are. So for example, here's all the risers and the flat bases, and they have the measurements or the names of them above each one. So that first of all, just at a glance, you can kind of know what size they are. And also the folder names correspond with these, so you'll know what they are. All right, so this hopefully is maybe something you want to print out and keep handy. And then these are just legends for what's in each folder. And so there's 2 folders of elements, or actually I think there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 folders of elements. So there's all of these, and I've named them, like these triangles are 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, 2C, and so forth. And so you can start to know which folder to look in to find these pieces. And then if I'm going to show you an example of what I've made, I may say, hey, this is 2A, 1B, and 4C, and you'll be able to find them a little easier, okay? Here's again the first, second, and third, and you notice that there's versions with the tab in the bottom, so it goes into the base, and there's also ones that don't have a tab, and then the ST, ND, and RD just go on top of that, like that, which ends up looking like this. So that way these can be different colors if you wanted to. And then we've got the wreath, kind of the half circle wreath, and then some smaller first, second, third. And of course, you can resize these however you want. Just make sure that if you're resizing the piece with the tab, that you account for that. All right, then third page of elements. Let me maybe make sure that nobody misses this. All of these are reversible. So if you want to use like these little kind of flamey looking things, you can turn them around like that. You don't have to cut 2 different ones unless you want to, but you can just have them go the other direction. Better example would be this larger arcing one like this. If you wanted 2 to go like this, you can just cut 2 of them and flip one of them around like that. So remember that it doesn't matter if it goes left or right, you can just flip it around. Okay. And again, in the corner there, it says file name, BBLD DIY award set elements 3. So you'll know which file that's in. And then here's all of the parts that are here on the table. All right. These are all numbered and in different folders there. Oh, I'll show you this one real quick. This is like a big ribbon kind of award. So this one can be its own, where you can just put this directly into a base like this. And when you make it in different colors, it look really nice like a ribbon. And if you wanted to, you could put, first, second, or third right in the middle, just like that. So that looked cool. But we also made a small version of that same piece, 2 small ones. And you could do these out of 1/4 or 1/8 inch, and they look like this. And so you could stick these on any award and put first, second, or third in there. That would look really cute as well. So once again, lots and lots of options here. And then here's part 3 of the main award shapes. Again, lots of them. Let me point out this one right here, this 40A and B. I'll show you what those are. Let me find, oh, here it is on the table. I don't see the other one right away, but these are all of the parts here. Let me go back to see you guys for a second, and I'll talk about this one, then I'll come back to the files again. All right, so for example, this one here, there's a couple different options on this one. This center piece can get cut out, and I've got so many pieces on the desk, I guess I've managed to lose it somewhere, but it can be hollow in the middle, or it has this piece where you can put it on top of it, and also put these circles on top of it to give it a different look again, so you can do different colors. So that's another version of that. There's also ones with stars like this, where you can make this piece a different color and then glue the star on it because it's 2 layered like that. And then there's also, one like this, where you have several layers of circles on top of each other. It looks like that. And of course, you can, again, put them out the back too if you want to cover glue. A couple more here I'll show you. We've got the ones with the star and the wreath like this. The star is a second layer. If this was mine, I would probably put a star on the back as well to cover up any glue that's there. So you got lots and lots and lots of options. All right. What kind of questions do you have before we go any further? Give you a couple seconds for questions. And then I'll show you the files, the Illustrator files, because there's, or not just Illustrator, but I'll show you all the files because there's a lot of things going on in there. All right. So let me see if I can share the screen again here. Sorry for the double images here for a moment. All right. So let me walk you through the files real quick. And again, I will make other videos for this in the future, but I just wanted you guys to see this now. Here's all of the flat stack bases. That's pretty straightforward. Here's an example of one of the first stacked, or the riser base, like this one right here. Pretty straightforward. Just there's tops and bottom plates. And this blue right here is an optional one that you can put a plate right here. So you can engrave whatever you want to on that. Let me show you one more, the ones with columns. These look a little complicated. They're not, but you'll see that there's pairs of vertical rectangles that are thicker and thinner. And so what you'll see is the thick one goes right here. The thin one goes here on the sides, right? So each one of these columns has 4, 2 thick ones, 2 thin ones like that. And they just go into the slots there in the base. And then the bottom gets covered up there. The top gets covered up with this one with the slot. And yeah, so you might just want to make sure that your material is the right thickness. Let me give you a tip on these. You don't want these to be really tight fit because it's a little bit of a pain to get these all lined up to get the slots in the tabs in. If I were you, I would leave it nice and loose because this is all glued together and it's really solid, but it's a lot easier to put these together when those slots are loose and not tight, right? Let's go on to this next one, award shapes. Now, this is what I wanted you to see. Let me hit my tab. I've got several files that have everything in one file, if that's your preference. You don't have to use it this way, but some people prefer to have all of the pieces in one file. So there's that right there if you want it. And then there's other files that have the numbers in them. And then there's also files that have them all broken up. So let me see if I can show you that real quick. So now, when you go into the bases, right here, you've got the stacked bases and you've got the riser bases. The stacked bases are just what they look like. We've got all 5 file formats for the stacked bases. And then for the riser bases, I've got them labeled by the size of them. So when you look at that legend earlier, you'll be able to say, oh, the 3.35 inch by 5 inch tall base with columns are in here. So hopefully that'll start to make sense. And then the main award shapes are here. And same type of thing. And then I'll open this up for you. This one here is a huge thing. Again, it's the exact same thing where it's got all of the pieces, the entire set, all in one file with numbers on them. This is more for reference. It's not for you to actually cut from, but I want you to see that that is also in there as well. Let me go back to here for a second. And yeah, you'll see that there's lots and lots of options in there. Okay, what kinds of questions do you have? You've been very patient. It's been about half an hour already, but I wanted you to see all the parts here. I'm going to be working with you and walking with you through all of these. Whenever you have questions, you just message me and we will build an amazing, amazing award. But you guys should make a ton of money with these. It will be very rare that you won't be able to make an incredible award that a person's going to like. Don't be afraid to do your own editing on these too. Because if for me, I would add some things to it, but this gives you an incredible place to start from. This set's going to start at $39. Of course, it's free for you guys. This is because you're a VIP, you get this for free. So this is a $39 set that you're going to get along with your monthly $25. And this month is going to be, I think it's going to be well over $100 worth of things. So it's a huge, huge value. All right, I've kept you long enough. I will stick around for another minute or two here for questions. What do you have? How can I serve you? One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to build some sample awards out of these, and I'll start slowly. John already got it. Sweet. I'm going to start making a bunch of sample awards, and I'll probably try to put like the piece number so I can point at them and say, this is this, this is this, this is this. These are just examples. Excellent. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You already got it. Am I using eighth or quarter? Almost always quarter. An 1/8 inch award just doesn't feel all that good. However, let me point this out. You can mix and match those. If I were you, I would make the base out of quarter. I would make the main vertical piece out of quarter. But then the layers, you could do 1/8, and that's just fine. But I would definitely make these out of quarter. Lori, let me see. Put this on screens. This is a great one. I'd love tips for making them flashy without acrylic. Absolutely. Yeah. For sure. We have made some really nice MDF ones, some really nice regular wood ones. It can look really, really great. Couple keys. If you're going to use wood, what I would do is I would use different types of wood. They're different colors. Like let's say you did maple and walnut and maybe basswood or something. Different colors because contrast helps a lot. But also, if you're going to paint them, you can get some really nice looking like MDF painted. You guys have seen all the things that we've done that we've painted that's all MDF. I don't have any within my reach at the moment. I'll grab this one. It's not an award, obviously, but like this right here is MDF that we painted with spray paint. And it can look incredible. You can fade things in different colors. But you can make MDF look really, really nice, and we're pretty proud of that. And we know that you can do the same thing. Even though this is not at all the same thing, this is MDF that I painted, spray painted for my wife, and puts little Post-it notes there. But you can make MDF look and feel really nice with paint. So definitely consider that. But Lori, I would love to talk with you some more about that. Absolutely. I'd love to help you make some really cool stuff. What other questions do you have? I will continue to make some resources for this set, but it is killer. It's awesome. So I expect you guys to make a ton of money from these. And I am here to help you. I will walk alongside you and help you make stuff. Heck, if my VIPs need help with even making awards, I will put some of these together for you and show you how to do it. So I am here for you. All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. It's been 34 minutes. I've taken a lot of your time, but hopefully this is going to come back to you hand over fist, just making a bunch of money on these, and I hope you feel great about them. Again, if you grab the files this morning, go for it. They're all there, but I'm going to continue to add resources to them as far as helping you put these together more easily. So let me know how we can help you. I love you guys. Have a great morning, and I will see you in the group. Let me know in the comments or just messaging me how I can serve you. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.